You know that clarity is the buzzword at the minute. Well, I was wondering if we could have some clarity on these breakfast clubs, because it would appear that the motivation for having them has changed significantly over the past few weeks. First of all, it was to make sure that every child had food in their tummy. Then it was to make sure that those who needed it the most had food in their tummies. Then it was to make sure that children get to play with each other before they go to school and socialise with each other. Then it was to save parents 95 hours a year. Then it was to save parents £450 a year, although was that at the beginning? I can't really remember. But the reasons have changed. And now we're at the bit where we were told that a fifth of parents, that's 20%, are struggling with affording the associated costs of school, which, when you do the basic maths, 20 take away from 100 leaves 80. So that's 80% of parents that aren't struggling with it. So those 80% of parents are getting a free breakfast, which, as one lady on the BBC News said this morning, was her daughter's second breakfast because she'd already had her first breakfast of strawberries. And that I can imagine. I mean, if that was my family and there was a breakfast club, then, well, one of them wouldn't have wanted to go because she'd have found the social interaction absolutely threw her over the edge. So I'd have had her not wanting to go. I mean, to be fair, actually, neither of them would have wanted to go. But let's pretend, for example, one did and one didn't. But I needed to get them both to school at the same time. I couldn't do two trips to school. I couldn't get one there for 8 o'clock and then go back later with one at 8:30. So that's an added pressure to a parent's life. And then, of course, we've got the obvious elephant in the room, which is half of these kids don't actually need breakfast. So why are we funding breakfast for a child that's already had it at home and then they're having it again, but a nice play with their friends? That's okay, because they can't do that in first break or at lunchtime or in second break or in extracurricular activities or on the bus on the way home. I mean, can't really forget, can you, sitting on the back seat catching up with your mates then? So, we've got all of these ways for children to interact, but apparently it's imperative that they do it before school on their second breakfast. I mean, I ask you. And Keir Starmer says he sent his kids to a breakfast club. Well, I'm sure you did, Keir. You love anything that's free, don't you? I mean, your own education was free. So you had a private education paid for by the state. And then we followed the trend on with when your son you were worried he wasn't going to be able to revise because of those nasty journalists outside the house trying to get stories on you, which I think they did get, but for some reason they've gone away into the ether. But anyway, we won't talk about that. I don't think we're actually allowed to talk about that. But anyway, they were outside being nasty journalists. So you moved him to Lord Ali's flat, didn't you? So that he could revise in peace. Anyway, that's what you told us. So you've protected him. And then we've got the bit where you had the free. Oh, so we've had the free flat. And then we had the free concert tickets. And then we had the free glasses and the free clothes. So we've got free education, free flat, free concert tickets, free glasses, free clothes, and free breakfasts. I mean, I think that says everything we need to know about you, Keir. You're very good at spending other people's money, aren't you? Not so good about spending your own. It was your own wife that said that she didn't want parents at Dame Eleanor Palmer School to be asked if they could contribute by donation to help squeeze that shortfall of the government funding versus what they were funding. But she said, no, 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 parents shouldn't have to put their hands in their pockets. I know, we'll ask the rich, posh ones, other than the fact that you're not posh, but you are rich. But you couldn't ask yourself for doing that, could you? Because no, we would like to spend other people's money, but we won't spend our own money. This could be a bit close to the bone today. This could be a little bit teetering on the edge, but you know what? I don't care. I simply don't care. If you're allowed to spout the crap and hypocrisy that you do, I can't see why I can't. And I don't think I'm saying anything that's untrue. Whereas you just seem to be repeating barefaced lies. I mean, I bring you back to the one that is the easiest to prove, council tax. I'm not putting your council tax up. I will not put your council tax up. Guess what? Your council tax has gone up. I mean, really.